Welcome back to Making the Case. In the wake of Biden's decision to send more than 4,000 people back to prison after the pandemic ends, a coalition of groups, including the ACLU, are calling on the administration to grant mass clemency to the people released. The groups have sent a public letter to President Biden and are running a social media campaign hashtag Keep Them Home. I'm joined tonight by one of the signatories to that letter, Udi Ofer, the director of the ACLU's Justice Division. Thank you so much for being here, Udi. Udi, can you hear me?
Sorry. It's great to be on.
There we go. All right. All right. So I just want to get your initial thoughts after learning that the president was sending about 4,000 nonviolent people back to prison.
Look, I mean, forcing thousands of people to go back to prison is just absolutely cruel. It is legally unnecessary. We completely disagree with the Justice Department's view of the law in this area. It would not make us safer, and it's going to cost taxpayers millions of dollars. It just doesn't make any sense. On the campaign trail, President Biden promised to reduce the federal prison population, yet as president, he's about to preside over the largest expansion of the federal prison population in recent memory. It's time for President Biden to end this impending crisis, which is why the ACLU and many other organizations on the right and on the left are calling on the president to use his clemency powers to end this crisis.
Now, can you tell us about the criteria that was used to determine who was released to home confinement?
Sure, and remember, this was done under the Trump administration. So we may have a scenario where under the Trump administration, thousands of people were released to go back home or transferred home, and under the Biden administration, they're going to be sent back to prison. So as a reminder, when COVID hit, Congress acted to pass the CARES Act. And under the CARES Act, there was an expansion of the federal government's ability to send people to home confinement. And the criteria that people had to show were, or at least priority was given to people over the age of 60 years old, people who had the COVID-19 risk factors, and at least initially, people who served at least 50% of their sentences. They also, the Bureau of Prisons also had to find that these individuals would not be a safety risk if they were released back home. So you're literally talking about individuals who the Bureau of Prisons, is under the Trump administration, has already determined that they're not a risk to public safety. They have underlying health conditions that made them eligible for this. They're older. Many of them are towards the end of their sentence. They are back home, reunited with families, getting jobs, going back to school. Less than 1% of the thousands of people who were released have been found to or been alleged to violate any rules of home confinement. Yet this is the population that now the president of the United States wants to send back to federal prison. It just doesn't make any sense. And it doesn't make any sense for a president who campaigned on a racial justice platform, who campaigned on a platform of criminal justice reform. And quite frankly, we are so disappointed with the president's decision here, and it's bringing into question his entire commitment to criminal justice reform. If he can't make this happen, how is he going to actually put us on the road towards ending mass incarceration? So that's why we're pleading with the president, keep these individuals home. People like Gwen Levy, there are thousands of people like her who right now have this hanging over their head, who, unless the president of the United States acts, are going to be sent to federal prison. And this is just a human tragedy on a massive scale.
You answered my question. I was going to ask you about the percentage of people that actually violated their terms of release. Less than 1%. Now, Udi, in your letter to President Biden, you and the coalition of other groups specifically asked him to grant mass clemency to the people released from prison. Why clemency?
Because it's the only permanent solution. I mean, I know that on the earlier segment, it was mentioned that in that New York Times article that the president may ask Congress to act to expand the home confinement authority. But that's not a permanent fix. It's not a permanent solution. We have a mass incarceration crisis in the United States. The United States incarcerates more of its people than any other nation in the world. President Biden on camera committed to the ACLU that if he were to become president, he would cut the federal prison population by 50%. That is a commitment he made to the ACLU. This is the opportunity to start meeting that commitment. So the power of clemency is a permanent solution. It would commute people's sentences. Now, what we're telling the Justice Department or the White House, or we're asking the White House, is to create a presumption of clemency. So to make a political decision that says the people who were sent home during COVID should have their sentences commuted. Create that presumption. But if the federal government wants to say that there's a reason to overcome that presumption, they can say it. But make a policy decision that declares a presumption that these individual sentences will be commuted. That's what we're asking the President of the United States to do. And I gotta say, it's been amazing to see not only organizations on the left, like the NAACP, the Leadership Conference, Amnesty International agree on this, but organizations on the right are also now calling for this. Organizations like Freedom Works, I mean, that's the Tea Party, Faith and Freedom Coalition. There's such a recognition here that this is a human rights crisis, that you have this rare bipartisan moment of people asking the President of the United States to fix this crisis, and the only permanent solution is clemency, and clemency now.
Now, a number of states have issued mass pardons and commutations specifically for low-level offenses like marijuana possession. And like you said, there's bipartisan support, especially for the First Step Act. Why do you think there's concern that a grant of mass clemency here would be politically untenable?
I don't know, except to say that, issues of law and order have now become part of the cultural warfare. And we're seeing some on the right, engaging in fear-mongering, using the legitimate concerns about rising homicides in certain cities across the nation, rising gun violence, as to once again engage in this fear-mongering tactic that we saw throughout the 1980s and 1990s that brought us the 1994 crime bill by then Senator Joe Biden, that brought us mass incarceration. So we're seeing some of that now. And I worry that some in the Democratic Party are scared, right? They're scared to live their values. They're scared to believe in criminal justice reform. So we're here, 6 months into the Biden administration to say that you need to stay strong, that we can't repeat the same mistakes of the 1980s and 1990s where we let fear-mongering drive criminal justice policy. This makes sense. It makes sense on a moral level. It makes sense on a safety level, and it makes sense on a financial level, where literally we have federal prisons that are overcrowded, and here's the solution: to let people stay home, stay with their families, stay with their jobs, and not send people back to the federal prison. So I think it's politics that's preventing the White House from acting right now. But we need the president to stay strong, which is why we're building a coalition of organizations that are saying, Mr. President, we will be with you if we act this way. And I gotta say, we've also started to do some polling in this area, and the American public gets it. We have some preliminary data that shows that voters on the right and on the left would support the president if he acted this way.
All right, Director of the ACLU's Justice Division, Udi Ofer, thank you for coming on tonight. All right, next on Making the Case, Attorney General Merrick Garland rolls out a new task force to address gun violence.